What up, guys?
Hey,
been
it's
a while.
playoffs. It's been a while. Yes, it has. It's just been some crazy schedules. I've had the flu. We've had
Christmas, New Year's,
winter break.
Snowmageddon.
Oh yeah, we got about 15 inches of snow,
Yep.
and we have not had school all week.
They got a snow week, which is a rarity. It's a rarity.
AMI days. So fun.
Yeah, so we haven't talked to you guys since last year, and I hope everybody's fantasy season went great. Huddy finished third in his league, did awesome this year. I won 2 leagues, so I hope you guys had a lot of success.
I finished third, but it was because Mixon messed me up. I'm gonna blame Mixon, but Jared Goff was my only guy that did anything.
So we're back. We're gonna do a kind of a playoff primer for you. We want to see, well, we don't want to see. We're just excited to see what's going to happen for the NFL playoffs. It's one of the most magical times of the year. Stars are born. Stars fade out. Guys get the title of regular season hero, but playoff bust. So we're going to see how it's going to go. We're going to predict the games. We're going to predict our Super Bowl winner, our Super Bowl MVP. We're also going to give you guys, if you are playing any type of fantasy, playoff, daily fantasy, stuff like that, we're going to give you a couple of studs this week to roll with. You want to get it cracking, Hud? Let's start off. Let's see. Let's go
with the matchups.
Yeah, let's do the matchups.
All right, so let's start with Buffalo versus Denver.
Denver at Buffalo, right?
Yep, they're in Buffalo because they're the 2 seed. I think Buffalo wins 35-21. Just a clean game.
Start to finish. Wire to wire win.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Josh Allen will do very good, and I think Denver is just not going to have their.
Don't have enough yet.
I just feel like I don't feel like they got what it takes.
Okay. All right. This is going to be the biggest upset of the weekend, in my opinion. I think that Denver somehow finds a way to upset Buffalo.
Freaking way.
Yeah, they really rush the passer at a high rate. Buffalo struggles at time at protecting the passer. I think that they're able to get to Josh Allen, hit him early and often. I think it's going to be a really tight game, but they find a way. They've also had the pressure on them for about the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season that they had to win a game to get into the playoffs. So the pressure, they've been playing must-win football now for a month, and they only got the 1 win. But that being said, they're in. I don't think that they have any pressure on them at all. There's no pressure. No one expects them to win. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs. So they are the team this weekend that has no pressure whatsoever. Denver Broncos, huge upset this weekend. Broncos over the Bills. Take it to the bank. Who we got next, Hud?
You want to go Pittsburgh at Baltimore?
Pittsburgh at Baltimore, the part 3. So this has happened now 3 times. This is tough. It's tough to have...
Well, not at Baltimore 3 times, but they've played each other
3 times. Yeah, so that's really hard. I don't know. I just think I'll start off, I guess. I think that Baltimore's on a mission. I think Lamar is ready. He's ready to make a playoff run. I think he wins at least a game or 2 this year in the playoffs. He's going to start it off by exercising those demons against Pittsburgh. Their offense the last month of the season has been anemic for Pittsburgh. They haven't been able to move the ball downfield. I think that George Pickens has started to implode a little bit, the way that the character of the team, who knows? I know if anybody could right the ship, it's Mike Tomlin, but I just feel like Lamar and Derrick Henry have it cooking right now. Zay Flowers could be a big hurt. He's first-time Pro Bowler this year, but I think they really lean heavy on the tight ends. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell's going to sneak into the end zone this week.
Keaton Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. He's going to sneak into the end zone this week.
I'm pretty sure I don't even think I've seen him get a yard this
Right,
year.
well, you might have fell asleep last week, but he did get a yard last week. He got more than a yard, and Keaton Mitchell might be a guy that you insert into that DraftKings lineup as a cheap running back option because he's going to get in this weekend. So I like Baltimore. What do you think?
I also like Baltimore, 31-17.
Okay.
I just think Pittsburgh, they've fallen off, all right? They were 8-2, and now they're 10-7, so they went 2-5 in the last 7 games.
Just on a downturn.
Which is not great.
Yeah, they always want you to be playing your best football this time of year, and they are playing their worst football this time of year. Still, an interdivision game, anything could happen, but I do like Baltimore to win. We're going to kick it over to the next AFC game, the Chargers back in the playoffs against the Houston Texans. Who do you like, Hud? Why do you like them?
I like Houston. I think C.J. Stroud stops this uninspiring run.
Okay.
And he finally has a game. And I know last year he cooked the Browns in round 1 of the playoffs. I think he can do the same to the Chargers. 28-9.
Okay. All right. Yeah, C.J. Stroud is definitely a big game quarterback. He's always shown that all the way dating back to his high school days.
I'm wearing C.J. Stroud right now.
C.J.
Why
Stroud.
was I even buckled anyway?
Represent. I don't know.
It's because Ohio State plays today, and
right.
that's why I wore this one.
So, yeah, C.J. Stroud's a baller. I know that they have had a little bit of a sophomore slump with him this year. That being said, you got to remember, folks, this was a top 3 picking team just 2 years ago. So they're still a young team. I think that Harbaugh is just a top shelf coach. I think he finds a way to get them their very first playoff win in a very long time. Justin Herbert's playing good football. The defense is playing good football. Sometimes I wonder if they have enough offensive pieces, but I'm going to take the Chargers in a squeaker in overtime by a field goal. Let's kick it over to the NFC, HUD. The Eagles, the Packers. Who do you got?
I got the Packers. So we do know that Hurts has been out, 3 games with concussion. I personally don't think he's 100%.
Okay.
And I'm not going to trust him for this week. And Jordan Love has had a pretty good season this year. I think the Packers sneak one out in OT 31-28.
I love that prediction. You know, the cool thing about all these games this weekend, people, is that all of these games could really go either way. These are some wonderful matchups. If you're snowed in or if you're just inside this weekend, if you don't have much to do, this should be great viewing for all the fans out there. I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. I just think they drafted 2 rookie corners that have really developed. I think that they might have enough. Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, they've both been really great for them. Their defense has just gotten better and better and better as the season progressed. Their first-round pick last year, defensive tackle Jalen Carter, has been an absolute beast. I think they do just enough to win a very close game. I do like the Eagles. I think A.J. Brown has a nice game, like always. And then we're going to switch it over to HUD's favorite team, a team that, hey, they really had to pick it up the second half of the year, and they did that. We talked on our show about them going on a run after their bye week. They did that.
They did.
They're playing good football right now.
For 4-6 to 10-7, that's 6-1 in 7 games. That's really good.
That's saying something. So the Bucks at the Commanders. Is that no? The Commanders at the Bucks.
Yeah, because the Bucks are the 3 seed.
Absolutely. Okay.
And the Bucks have a pretty good stadium. So
hey, I'd rather be in Tampa this time of year than DC.
For sure.
Just weather-wise, I just think that it's beautiful. What do you think, Hud? I know what you think. What do you got?
I have Tampa winning.
Okay.
42-17.
Holy smokes.
I honestly think that Brian Robinson Jr. is going to get hurt because he's always hurt.
Okay.
He's going to get hurt, and then they're going to be using, Chris Rodriguez Jr. because I think Eckler's still on the IR.
All right.
So they're going to be using a 3rd-string running back, and that wouldn't be good. But that's only if B-Rob Jr. gets hurt, which I think he will. I mean, he gets hurt in games all the time. Jaden Daniels doesn't have a great game, worst game of his career, I think.
Well, it's his first ever playoff game, so there could be some pressure that there hasn't been before.
That's why I think that.
Yeah, and I mean, he is what I believe is the runaway rookie of the year this year, but I think that it might be Baker Mayfield's time. I think it's his time to win a game or two in the playoffs and kind of cement himself as that guy down there. I know he got an extension, but really to endear himself to the fans in Tampa. He's got a lot of guts, a lot of moxie. I like Tampa, too, to win the game, and so I'm going to go with the Bucks. I like them by a touchdown. Our next game...
Wait, what's the score?
Oh, heck, Hud.
31-24?
Let's say 24-17. I like them by a touchdown. Our next game was supposed to be played in Los Angeles. Our prayers out to the folks in Los Angeles.
Praying for you guys.
But they have moved that game to Arizona. It's still going to be considered a home game for the Rams.
I didn't
Vikings,
put it as
Rams.
a home game on the script.
You know, McVay, elite-level coach, one of the best coaches in the sport, one of the best minds in the sport. I just think that Minnesota defense is going to be able to get after Stafford. And Sam Darnold had a poor game last week. I don't see him having back-to-back poor games. I think that the Vikings have enough. The coach of the Vikings used to be the offensive coordinator for the Rams. He knows that team a little bit. I think he's going to come out. They win the game. Statement game for the Vikings. A big playoff win. Maybe, just maybe, it's enough to get the front office of the Vikings to talk about an extension for Sam Darnold. He has been sensational this year.
Honestly, but they're going to be like, what are we going to do with J.J. McCarthy? Oh, I know. Go to the Raiders, Jets, Titans, Giants, or switch to kicker.
Yeah, trade him. Switch to kicker. All right, Hud. Who do you like? You like the Rams or the Vikings?
I like the Vikings.
You like the Vikings?
By a lot, actually.
Okay.
It's going to surprise you.
Okay.
31-9.
All right, so that's what we got for this
Although
one.
the Vikings did lose 31-9 last week.
Hud, give me 3 fantasy studs for this week. People are turning in some fantasy lineups.
I forgot. So, I have Josh Allen.
Okay.
Buffalo's QB. Reason he's playing Denver, and I told you I think he's going to have a good game earlier. Derrick Henry, Baltimore's running back.
The King?
Yeah, the King.
All right.
I think he's still got a ton of fumes left in the tank. I know he hasn't been playing the best the last few weeks. He is not washed. He's going to have a great game.
Okay.
And then Bucky Irving, because,
He's been playing great, getting all the volume.
Yeah, because he gets all the volume. And Rashad White, I don't even think Rashad White recorded a stat last game. So
right. Okay.
At this point, it's official. Rashad White's running back too.
Okay.
And I will not be drafting him next year for fantasy.
I like Lamar. I think he's on a mission. I think Keaton Mitchell would be a cheap little buy in a DraftKings that you could put into your lineup.
Is he one of your studs?
He's not one of my studs, but I think he's a cheap buy. He's just a bonus stud. I like Sam Darnold. I think he has a great game because he had a poor game last week. Those receivers that he has at Dynamite. And then the other weird one that I'm going to throw in there, again, this could be a cheap buy on DraftKings, Denver's defense. I think that I heard an amazing stat about Pat Surtain. They said that when you throw to Pat Surtain, when he's been thrown at this year, his passer rating he's allowed for opposing quarterbacks is so bad that it would actually be better. You get a better rating if you simply spike the ball into the ground instead of throwing it at him.
For real.
I swear, that's a real stat, guys. So I like Denver's defense. It's a sneaky start this week.
Well, you had Keaton Mitchell as a bonus stud, so I should get a bonus stud.
Give me a bonus stud.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon, that's a bonus of all bonus studs. He's a certified stud. So Saquon, we like it. If you guys are in the playoffs, in some kind of playoff format this week, or you're doing daily DraftKings, we wish you the very best. We're going to give you a quick Super Bowl prediction and Super Bowl MVP. Hud, who do you got?
Jared Goff and the Lions.
And he's going to win the MVP as well. Okay, Jared Goff and the Lions. I like the man, the myth, the legend, the magic man.
I swear, if you say Patrick Mahomes, you glaze him. And you think about... Bro, you think about him 24/7. You are glazing him. You literally picked them in the fantasy draft to win the Super Bowl.
All right.
You glazed them. You should have taken the Lions.
Chiefs.
I'm going to throw your phone.
Three-peat.
I will throw your phone.
Patrick Mahomes, if you're hearing this out there, I love you long time. Okay?
Wait, you have a Chiefs sticker on your phone now?
You know I do. You know I do. Dad.
Huddy.
We out.
But this my life. I'm on